Imagine an idea, a yearning gets so strong that it starts pulsing and comes to life. Growing, learning, experiencing, simply being. Hello my friends, it's me AVG, and today we're diving into this theme of incarnation. Why are we incarnating? How, etc. What happens when we are while we are being born, when we are born, a little bit of what happens when we die. Keep in mind, it's just my perspective until now. In my experience with Beyond, I never say that that this is right or whatsoever that I'm telling you. I just can give you my perspective if you're interested. So it's insane what I'm trying to tell you today. So I just try, like Jesus always says, it's just worth a try. You can leave your questions in the comment section. I do my very best to answer questions if I can. So it was a few years ago. I was very interested. Again, after coming here and forgetting a lot of stuff, not all, but a lot of stuff, I wanted to know how everything is and wanted to see the big picture again. And so I was diving deep into this, and here comes the answers. So you can't talk time here. I just say time and I just can give you a few pictures. Please keep in mind, those are not pictures. Those are not time sayings, time words. We are talking spirit, most of all, spirit and consciousness. So first at the beginning, we are, as it came in for me, we are infinite, an infinite energy and infinite consciousness. And with those two things, you can always play. So we always come together like this white sheet. This means this is most balanced out energy. All parts have the same amount of being. Yeah, so this is always a beginning energy. All parts are the same. So when everything is so one and so pure, it's always the question, what is this? Who are we? What is this balanced out energy? And at a certain point, the desire to discover it again and again and again and again and again. It bursts out and it comes back, bursts out, comes back, and this is the infinite game. So this is a balanced out energy. And like I said, all the parts are the same. You have to imagine it like a door. Imagine flour and water. And you just start now when we or all the parts want the energy and the consciousness want to experience different things. You have to separate the door. This is how we can create space, incarnations, the illusion of separation. So you have this door, and now we start to get the water out, and we dry the flour, so we have more flour and more water. So it becomes completely different now than this sheet. We have a different appearance, interesting, but from the same origin energy. That's quite amazing. Yeah. So I drew this. It was a German drawing, but I explained to you. So I have this, I just drew this plus here. So for example, this balanced out, enlightened part. When you want to separate the water from the flour, this dough, then it's just an example. I just try to explain with something this whole thing, yeah. You can do that with colors, with whatsoever, but this is how it was more easy for me. And it, I was more familiar from physics at school. So it comes a plus part and the negative parts. And it means that there is one part that is enlightened, more smaller, comprimated. I hope this word exists, more dense. And this more fluff, negative energy. Fluff, negative means can be blockades, can be, like people say, darkness and light. To make experience. The most sense of this is making experience, knowing who we are, what this is, and playing, being, and also what's coming through, enjoying the different things you can make out of this, not just this, something else. So, and this is how space can be created, like this negative and this positive. So, whew. So I have to see which one I take next. Yeah, I think this is next. So yeah, it's just a little explanation drawing of this. We have essence, we have energy, and we have the energy that is creating space. It's such a low vibrating in comparison to the high vibrational conscious energy, such a low vibrating negative, just let's pretend it's negative energy, but it's such a different, not this origin energy, it's a different energy that creates the space, like planets, like people, plants, stones, etc. And this is just an example, and this is called truth. So we can, with this truth and the light, we can expand, and it's an illusion. It's an illusion that's created by separating the stone. And this, it's also called the ego, more the ego than the actual truth. And we can project ourselves, the truth. The more the truth gets dense and comprimated, the more we project ourselves out. And this is an example that I do here. God source, you can imagine is, I will show you, can imagine is like, let's just talk of picture again. It's not a picture, it's an energy. God source, for example, is, let's say it's a sun, it's a ball, and the more the ball gets dense and comprimated, the more it's like you squeeze an orange, the more the water comes out. I will come to that in a few minutes. And the more we can go out and experience via those negative, and I just call it negative, into those light ends. And the more God source, the more our truth, our consciousness is getting dense, it's densifying, the more it gains the truth energy. So much that it starts pumping and pulsing, so that we just don't have like planets. We also have living beings that are really alive. They can move. The heart is pounding without any electricity. It's just from that high God source pumping, pulsing energy, like an over energy that's cascading out into space. Yeah. And I will take this picture. I will explain that in a second. So just that you see. So God source was, let's just say, a ball. And it comprimated and it went out. That was the first step. That was the first half. And now we all went away. And now you can, and it's not we went away. We the word is missing. We investigated into experience and space. And now as God is more, let's just say, little and densified, the bigger the picture is. So, and then it has to come back at a point. This we see here. From big, the more it's out. And then we come back. And this is how people say now we arrive at this new age, at this point where everything is going back. First we had a lot of ages, dinosaur age, mid-age, whatsoever. But the first step was going out and just, being in, investing in ego, in incarnations, the more the experience and egotistical things. And now like God source is calling us back, and is not, of course, via voice, it's with energy. So, and this you can see with that people are waking up. They start seeing the greater picture. They are getting more and more conscious. And with that waking up, we come back to our inner core. We come back to our inner voice, to our own spirituality, not into that egotistical, I label that just now that you understand this egotistical incarnation stuff and creation stuff that we of course need. But now we're coming more to the things they really do matter, and we are we're coming back to being more natural again, maybe sometimes being more minimalistic, to see what we really naturally need, and why Earth is here and what really makes sense. So, and now the energy is directing to God's source again, and God was pumping, pulsing, and now everything comes back again to create this this whole thing again, to come back to this one. It's like I always say to my clients, it's like you start to throw out all your marbles and then you tidy it up again. Yeah. And the more we are conscious, I've written it here, the more we are conscious while during incarnation, the higher the chance that our soul, I'm coming to that in a minute, is enlightened. Yeah, because when we don't have consciousness, it's like a cut off wire. And if you are enlightened and you are more in a flow, in a knowledge. Yeah. So I'm just starting something. I don't know where to begin, because this is nowhere to begin, nowhere to end. Just so that you understand, when people are always talking of the Holy Spirit, I have it here as glitter. I don't know if you see that so well. So the Holy Spirit they've shown me is the holistic energy, the holistic picture, the holistic perspective, intuition and guiding and consciousness. It's like the end picture, or always the end and the beginning picture again, so that we find our way back. And it's that picture. I don't know how I should explain that. Yeah, it's just simply that one energy again, this oneness, this consciousness, everything. It knows everything, how it will turn out, each and every life, each and everything, each and every move. But you also, and this is the key now, is you can also change it for the better, for example, or for the more lightful and soft, fluid way, by consciousness. Consciousness is always the key. I will give you an example for this. For example, if there's a person that is very much aware of its life purpose, of its life task, life mission, and this person knows, for example, the family of this person is not doing so well, they don't understand each other, blah blah blah, and the person knows that it will, at a certain point in its life, will have an accident, and it will be all traumatic, but at the end the family will come together with that accident. So if this person, it's just an example, could get very conscious and knows that there will happen an accident, it can be that the person just knows what this accident is for, and knows that the family, of course, is not doing well, so that it gets conscious, and with this key unlocks its life purpose. So not with this accident and this traumatic experience, but for example, the person can do, I don't know, just as an example, doing therapy, talking with the family, doing everything lightful that this accident needn't to happen. So what I'm talking about here is, it's always an amount of energy for example. And for example, this is the accident. This is a heavy, big energy. But if the person is, God, I don't know how to explain this. is using this energy wisely and not move as a sudden heavy energy, but gets it more like I said, therapy, talking with family, doing this. It can it can use this heavy energy in a more solution-oriented energy. It's just an amount of energy, and then how you use it, how it gets played out. So you can sit back and it's playing out, or you can really get conscious work on yourself and you can use it. There are always things you can't also, because before you come here, you choose your life purpose, your life task, what you want to learn. So either you can learn the hard way or you can learn the more soft way. But you always have your task. I'm coming to that. So this is always the end picture. And then there's this conscious energy, the sun is God's source. I just drew it like this. And then we're coming into this projection room. It's not like this in a picture. It's more an energy mass. Yeah. And this is like the beginning of everything. Space. And this is the end again. Like I said, we can't talk of beginning and end. It's impossible. Yeah. So now, how do we incarnate? The big question. So we have, because of this burst, or it's not a burst, it's more like I said, the water out of the door, the flower out of the door, it's more a coming apart. And so on a conscious level and energy level, we came apart also. And I like to show it always as clouds, because I can see that in spirit realm like clouds. So there, I'm just taking a few examples. So there are several clouds, and they are in different energy levels. Depends how many times they incarnated. We just want to evolve. We broke this big structure with intention to see who and what we are basically again. Yeah, it's like you have a computer, you don't know what's inside. You just break it apart and you see all the parts and all the things. So, and with this, we wanna, when we have all the single parts of this computer, let's say, we want to know if we can repair the whole picture again, the whole computer, like this. Yeah, it's a game, don't forget. So the soul levels, yeah. So we have one soul level, and it's not just always persons. It can be that you incarnate as animals, as a plant, as a stone, whatsoever. So this is a soul level. It's not yet completely enlightened and not yet completely conscious. It's just on its way. And this soul level has the idea of becoming a person. For example, let's say human, yeah? And because we want to know how we get to the big picture, because we went apart, now we have such a yearning to come together again, being this puzzle piece, streaming to this one picture again. So this is a yearning, this is an idea. But just simply by the idea, you can become human. So you need this massive main energy, and this is God's source. I know from spirit it's called ulti-dimension. So this ulti-dimension is like shining onto this idea, yeah, and makes it lightful, yeah, so that this idea starts to pulse, come alive, yeah. Like I said, we are nothing else than energy and consciousness, yeah. So this is like the great energy. And it's funny because I come to dear Father who art in heaven, thy will be done, but it's also the will of the soul and also the will of God source, of multi-dimension. So and when they merge, when it's merging, so the magic can happen. All this yearning, like like the intro with this earth, you project yourself onto earth, you can make it happen. The more you get into this thought, get into this, you want it, and it's thy will, it's your will also. So then this idea we have here, so it's here, and with God source lets you shine as a channel, yeah. This is multi-dimension, and this multi-dimension is like the sun. I always like the picture of the sun, and each and every ray is that channel. This is why, for example, spiritual people can channel. So for example, if I want to know how someone is feeling or dead ones are feeling, you just go into their channel, into the energetic canal that enables you to come to earth, to whatsoever. Yeah, it's like God makes the way free for you and gives you this way with this ray so that you can incarnate. So then you like you want to apply somewhere. There's a family on earth, for example. Oh no, I forgot something. Wait. So we have this. You are becoming. It's earth, by the way. So funny. I'm doing that with earth things. So you incarnate. You want to incarnate. You are this concept on your way to earth, for example. And when you incarnate, you are this channel. But it can be, or mostly it is, that there are other beings. It's like examples again. That people are projected. That's the next thing, the next question. A lot of times come up. People ask what is my projection? So it can be that other beings on other dimensions, for example, I just say the Lyra beings. It doesn't mean that they are living always on this planet. It's just referred to this planetary vibration location. So alien beings are in their own dimension. So often I get the questions, why should Lyra, for example, being in the 11th and 10th dimension, such a high dimension, we are 3D, third dimension, why should they want to have the earth experience? They always say because earth is something very, very different than Lyra, for example. Yeah, they have completely other skills. They can create worlds. They can look through everything. Yeah, and here it's not. So here we have solid things. We can touch. We can experience. We can fall, we can hurt, we have a nervous system, etc. And they are they don't believe rumors like here we would say, did you know that they told me it's like this and that. They want to make a real experience. So for example, or Arcturus, they want to make an experience, and for example, they're just, don't forget that it's a time here on Earth. We have this time, but they're living completely different zones. So for them, for example, they're talking and an experience is missing out. They, for example, they just close their eyes, and for example, they agree to hang on and be braided into this channel. They can make the experience with us. So that's very, very interesting and something so, so beautiful, because I'm telling you why. Because they are supporting us. For example, I am projected from Arcturus, for example, Arcturians. They are very funny. I always say they're the gummy bears, the techno gummy bears. And for example, let's just say they are full of energy and funny, and they are a bit mixed with my channel here. So I am a little bit like them. Yes. For example, they want to make the experience of someone from Earth. And I am, and that's so cool, the front man, the front woman of this alien group. It's always a few aliens they hang on. They attach themselves, I wanted to say. And I am here the front woman, the expert of this planet. So whenever they have a question, or whenever they want to scan Earth through their lenses, we are always connected. So they always have access to Earth experience from an Earth person. That's so crazy. And I can make my experience, plus I can have a lot of insights from Arcturians, for example, from Arcturians. So this is why they attach themselves. And in my case, for example, they just do not just want to watch or scan or something. They want to, get their ideas more into this Earth space. So, for example, Lyra too, they work with me and fill me up with much consciousness and give me insights and want to energize, for example, some parts of Earth, etc. So they work very, very conscious through me. And their goal is just to make real experiences, how things feel. And after my life's over, it was for them just like a blink of the eye. And they can go on with their conversation, for example, they had. Because now they know how Earth was. It's crazy. Yeah, it's like a great friendship. It's like a benefit. It's like this you and me and you. We are all one connective thing. Yeah. So I come to Earth, and there are several families. And for example, a family is conceived a child, then it's more like, they told me, like the hangers in the closet, they are more like applicants who are standing there, who are ready, who want to incarnate, for example, in family. And while or right before or right after a woman gives birth, the one applicant with the highest energy and the most energy that fits the most for this family will incarnate in a human child, for example. So first it's it's making like a scan. The soul, I saw it like white light scanning all the DNA, all the cells, all the organs, everything, and encoding it as this person now, as this concept. And then congratulations, you became an earth child. Yeah. And so when you die, what happens is that you just go back to this channel. This is why people always see the light. They see the God light again after finishing this life and coming back to the soul. It's like I always tell my clients, it's like an afterglow, I call it. They glow there in this in the 4D, by the way, in the 4D, in this afterlife, hanging out there, reminiscing over their life. Yeah, sometimes often finishing things they couldn't finish here, like making a garden, or yeah, for example, if there have been lots of problems on Earth, now everything is solved. Now everything is okay again, because you know this picture, and they like interact, and yeah, it's like they're talking over this experience and about this experience, and having like an after experience. People often ask me for example, when I'm doing when I talk to dead ones, deceased ones, they ask me, is my mother still angry or so? This is like, imagine it like Earth is like a theater play. Yeah. So if you are, I don't know, if you play Alice in Wonderland, you know, before, we call it, by the way, jump. Before you jump, you know that you are becoming Alice now. And after Alice died, she goes back behind the curtain, behind the stage. So no one is ever in a theater play. Wait, the word is missing again. Apologized after it. Oh, I'm so sorry for being Alice in this life. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's like you just come back and you know that you had this role in life. Simply, there's nothing to explain anymore. You just have the overall more conscious picture, and more conscious than here. Because the soul is so such a mass of consciousness that it can just give you a little, that it just like pours a little bit of water of this consciousness for this incarnation. And the more the soul is growing, and the more conscious it gets, the soul, the more it will incarnate. It can incarnate on higher, on faster vibration, channel dimensions. And then they have like the afterglow here. And this picture will be in the 4D, for example, will be in beyond, until it doesn't make sense anymore. So if all the family died and they had a big afterglow and nothing else comes anymore, it merges back into the soul level as a story. It was the story of being Alice. Or, for example, if someone wrote a book or was a big human in this earth, it can be that they are in the afterglow for a little while longer. But don't forget, we're not talking time here. It's just more being there, a more bigger while. So now explaining the many questions also. We have God source, the ulti-dimension, and we have the multi-dimension. And then comes all the other dimensions. So, like I said, is it... When we incarnate, we can go through this channel, can just be in one place, in one channel, and go back. Yeah. The higher the dimensions get, the more they have access to more skills, like I said, watching through things, having and playing with timelines, being many avatars at the same time, blah, blah, blah. So we come back to the soul level. But when our soul is so conscious that it made so many experiences and was so conscious in its past life, in its now life, it was so conscious that it's like overglowing and merges, because of its most high consciousness, into the multi-dimension within God's source. And this is why they say Jesus is at the right of sits at the right of God, or I don't know, wie sage ich so, zur Rechten Gottes, is like next to God, and this is true in its own way. It merged. So Jesus' soul, for example, we take Jesus because it's a well-known avatar, is so overglowing. Then the soul merges in the multidimension and can't incarnate anymore. But, so for example, when I channel people, dead ones, I can go back into their channel, but dead ones also, they can just be at one place at one time. But people, avatars in the multidimension, like Jesus, for example, enables them that many people, all people around the world and everywhere, they can work with them, because they are now like soulless, because they are already a part of this high God consciousness. They are like they're just like an image of their avatar. It's like a picture, or we say energy. Yeah, and this energy can spread into each and every channel. And so this is why we all can work with Jesus at the same time. While I can just work with one. Or for example, angels, they can, they themselves are so highlight, for example, that they can be with more also. And here in the multidimensions, the so-called ascended masters, they are often called on the internet. There can be angels, there can be everything in there. Everyone whose soul is enlightened, whose soul level is enlightened, they are there. So we all stream towards this. Like I said, we go out, and now we are coming into back into source. We have all this desire to merge with source again. Once everything and everyone is in source, we come back to this balanced out sheet. And this is just an unbalanced picture. So in Jesus and the angels and everyone is working with you to find your way back to this picture, because they have a more high consciousness than you. So this is why all the avatars are there to help us all. Not the people that are saying again, it's just Jesus or whatsoever, whosoever, everyone. They're even, I don't know, I have, for example, one, he is not an ascended master, but he is quite a master, and he has angels It's like he is education, the angels there, and in education with him. And they're just lovingly working together. And he wants to level them up, and they can, for example, work with me and help me because their consciousness is higher than mine. And with this, they enlighten themselves and they enlighten me. And so we all benefit from each other. We all have a positive, positive beneficial outcome with this. And so we all evolve as persons, as souls, even the masters, etc. And God source, this glowing plus energy that's keeping high the vibrations so that all the pluses, the ends of negative, of space and room energies can find their way back to the great plus energy. Wow, I did it. I could do it. Wow. I'm so happy I could do this today. I hope I didn't forget anything, and I hope you could understand it. It's quite complicated, but just that it could give you an insight how beyond looks, works, feels. Yeah. So I wish you a very happy life and a very happy incarnation, and much fun with your puzzle piece here on Earth. Yours, Ailey.